it's important to say that Frank Caliendo will be at Sidesplitters Wednesday and Thursday this week.
Yeah, tomorrow and Thursday. Thursday has like 5 to 10 tickets left, maybe.
Oh, really?
And tomorrow has probably 30 to 40, something like that.
I'll tell you. Not anymore. Now that people know you're in town. 960-1197 or sidesplitterscomedy.com. You go online, you can pick your seats and the whole deal. Frank is one of the best. Do you think that you have that that thing in your brain, like something like Mary Lou Henner has, where you're able to remember everything? You have a memory.
No,
like
I don't have a
ever
great
seen.
memory. My memory's going.
I went to see you one time. And then, like 3 years later, you were on the show, and I was like, "I went to your show last time," and you go, "Yeah, you were with your brother, and you said."
Oh, I remember that.
I was like,
I remember quite a few things. There are certain things names I struggle with. There are times where I will be on stage and I will be wanting to go into an impression and I can't remember the name of the person. It's happened with me with Liam Neeson like 4 or 5 times. I can't remember. I can remember. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want, but I don't know who I am. That's Liam Neeson has Alzheimer's. I don't know who I am. I don't know what I want.
That's funny.
Yeah, so that happens. And that might sound like a bit right there. That was actually real, and I just saved it with pure genius in comedy.
You have the uncanny ability to do these impressions that are spot on, and then at the same time, you're also a master ping pong player, which blows my mind every time.
And it's funny that the impressions has made me the money. The ping pong loses me money. It costs so much to upgrade the paddle. People don't realize how much you can spend.
It's so funny. I watched a video the other day that was showing different paddles, and they're like, "Here's a Walmart paddle. Here's this," and then they had the paddles that were like 200 and something, whatever, and they show you how it responds so much better.
So the biggest company that I know of is a company called Butterfly, and I think they're based in North Carolina, but it might be from overseas, and then but they experiment and create all this different stuff. So they have these different types of woods and stuff. It's like a balsa wood type of thing. But then on each side of the paddle, you have the rubber, and the rubber is a top sheet that's sticky or not sticky, and then the sponge, which determines how much bounce is going to come off of it. Well, I can spend $80-$90 per side on the paddle, plus $250 for the actual wood part of the paddle. So you're talking $150, $400, $500 for a ping pong paddle. Wow. And then you got to upgrade the rubber not upgrade, but replace the rubber every couple months. So it's an expensive, and
how often are you playing?
A ball is like $3 each or something. A real ball.
How often are you playing these days?
I'm injured right now. I'm
on the IR. You're on IR right now.
I knew that.
You're gonna be okay during the show.
Everybody at once. That got more of an ooh than the Robert Redford death.
With more sympathy for your injury.
There is I move around a lot because I'm trained by the guys who played in the Olympics and stuff like that. So I can't play at that level.
Right.
But when somebody thinks they can play, like I could go into a clubhouse in a major league clubhouse, and they think they're pretty good. They're way better athletes than me, but I could outspin them and I could do stuff. They'd be like, "What the heck's going on here?" But there's 2 colors. A friend of mine, Danny Seamiller, who was national champion years ago. There's a reason there's 2 colors on the paddle. Because they would go overseas and play world championships or something like that. Mm-hmm. And he would have a sticky side on one side and the other side would have a smooth side. So when the ball hits the smooth side, it just dies. It's called anti.
Right.
So he would go over there and he'd spin the paddle around and playing like in China. And the Chinese were just, it seems like a stereotype, but it's real. I mean, table tennis is big there.
Yeah.
So he would go there and he was beating everybody and they couldn't figure out. Guys would go to spin the ball up because you have to reverse the spin and it would go way off the table.
And he would turn the paddle.
So he'd spin the paddle. It's called twiddling. He'd spin the paddle around and they're like, what's going on here? So they outlawed it. You have to have 2 different colors because of Danny Seamiller.
So
and you have to declare what's on each side.
Wow.
So
he changed the game.
He changed the game, just like Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
if you're good enough at something and they have to change the rules because of you, you're pretty good.
It was the tush push of table tennis. That's what it was.
What's his name? The hockey player that we always talk to. What's his name? God damn it.
Oh, Sean Avery?
Sean Avery. They have the Sean Avery rule because you can't face the goalie and distract the goalie anymore because of Sean Avery.
Oh, really?
He
I
would
know
get in
that.
the goalie's face and distract him while the other guys were coming around to shoot. They had to make a rule called the Sean Avery rule.
Yeah. And when you
yeah.
had a rule named after you, it's better than a surgery band.
Yeah.
True, yeah. Tommy John. Yeah.
Frank Caliendo is hanging out with us. He's going to be at Sidesplitters tomorrow and Thursday. There are not a lot of tickets left for both nights, so go immediately and get your tickets. Frank also, I give you credit for costing me the most money ever on vacations.
This is a Disney.
For turning me on to Disney guides, but it's still one of the best things I've ever done.
Well, you can still a lot of times you can't. But like my daughter was just there in Disneyland, and the guide system isn't the same as it used to.
Well, we tried to do it in Japan, and it's not the same there.
Oh no,
either. No,
I mean, what?
I don't know. They don't. You can go in a group, and they run out of groups pretty quick. Like you can't. It's not your own group. You have to go with other people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we tried to. We were only in Tokyo Disney for a day, so we wanted to see as much as we could, and it did not work the same as it works in Orlando.
My daughter went 2 weeks ago and did like 18 rides at Disneyland.
Yeah.
And they had park hoppers, but they did 18 things in one day. But it was the first week of the NFL season. So I mean, there's the college football, and that I think I was told that the slowest day of Disney World the whole year is Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh, really?
People think it's holidays. It's Super Bowl Sunday is the day to go. Because that's everybody watching.
Everybody's home, yeah.
And if you're not watching for the game, you're watching for commercials.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Is that a busy time for you?
Super Bowl can be big. I'm not in the mainstay of football as much as I was, but it's still people think of me there. Yeah. So
I don't know. I feel like you transitioned from Madden to Gruden, so it's still carrying out.
Yeah,
you got to work on the
people know
next
that
one.
stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, online, I'm starting to bring more of the football stuff back. I had been staying away from it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to whore this out completely for a while.
Smart.
Make as much. Mel Kiper Jr. told me it was funny. He's like, Frank, got to do all the stuff. Keep doing it. Tremendous situation. Low risk, high reward. But I was like, really? I don't know. He's like, just take something. If you find something, even if it pigeonholes you, just milk it. And nowadays it's different. I mean, there was a time where if you were a sketch actor, they didn't want you to do anything else. Remember when you were a movie actor, nobody would do any TV.
Oh, yeah, right.
Now movie actors are doing commercials.
Yeah.
Like that was they did not want to do anything like that. And there are very few people. Somebody brought this up to me. They said maybe somebody like Leonardo DiCaprio. There are 4 or 5 movie actors that don't do any TV really. Maybe
I think the first one that I was like, oh wow, was George Clooney. When Clooney was doing the Nescafe or whatever, I was like, oh wow,
but
Clooney's
he probably
doing
has
commercials.
Ownership in it. That's
probably.
the thing. When you get ownership,
then it makes more sense.
Yeah, that's a thing where I think, and that might have been a Shatner Priceline thing that he started the whole thing before me. People were spending too much on airline tickets.
What do you? Real quick. You were talking about college football, and you just reminded me. Maybe one of the hardest I've ever laughed in my life, crying, laughing, is your Lou Holtz.
Oh,
with the first,
just one of those things just go out there and people say you can't. That's why you making fun of me. I'm not making fun of Lou Holtz at all. I'm just saying.
He even talks about it. He's like, only in America can a guy who talks like me become a motivational speaker. I actually asked
you did
players.
it. I don't know where it was, but you did it, and then you kind of walked off the set while still doing it. I lost it, dude. It was so funny.
I don't even need a microphone. I just do it out of my Calta studio. Doesn't matter. I'm in a garage. I know there's a stormtrooper in front of me.
That's what I was going to ask you before. I was like, what do you work on? Do you work on anything now? You can't.
I mean, there's always some. I got to go back to one of my favorite things I've ever done with Lou Holtz was actually theme songs with Lou Holtz, and I was doing Game of Thrones. If Lou Holtz was just excited about Games of Thrones, that's coming on again. Am I working working. There's always new ones I throw in the act. I'm trying to use the impressions more like a producer on a radio show pressing buttons. So there's like realizations my act, and I'm like, oh my God, I just became Owen Wilson. That's really, really great. I had no idea. So just throwing those in and trying to find places for like the John C. Reilly or the Seth Rogen. Who knew? So it's trying to find the spots for those and then work them into more types of regular bits of just kind of stuff we're talking about here.
I several times when you were on the show, we tried to work on our Morgan Freemans together, and could never seem to nail. I mean, it's unbelievable.
And it seems like one you could. I think you just don't really want to get it, so you just have the concept of you not getting it.
I was in the shower and I was like, and then I was like, I got it. And my wife came in. I go, listen. And she goes, "Ooh, Forrest Gump, it's perfect."
They're so close.
Life is like a box of chocolates. You never do know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, Forrest Gump, Matt. It's amazing because it is one of the impressions that's super close. I've talked about all those before, but the man is there with Bill Walton. Unbelievable. It's just up here a little higher. There are so many that are so close. And it's just little bits of little tweaks in cadence stuff or slight pitch change.
Yeah, that was the we were talking about Morgan Freeman one time, and it was the speed in which I was doing it that I couldn't grasp.
Well, you have to just, and it's funny because in the shower you can sound so. I don't know why you can sound so much better.
So much better.
Yeah.
As
I almost thought about doing the show.
Water came down upon me. I'd realized that bar of soap was going to change things for the better. My wife had gotten me a bunch of different creams to try.
She said, "You don't have a smell.
You don't have a smell." And that's when I realized I soon would have a smell.
Yeah, that's me. Frank Caliendo is here. He is going to be at Sidesplitters Wednesday and Thursday, and there are not a lot of tickets left. If you'd like to go see him, go make sure you check him out. I'm glad things are going good. I'll tell you, you're on the all-time echelon of radio guests, not only for coming in the studio and just giving it your all the time, but you were the guy back in the day who had the ISDN hookup, man.
Oh,
you
yeah?
were like, I know how to do this.
Well,
I
I have and if you ever want to use it, if there's something ever that comes up, I have the Comrex access now.
Oh, you do? So
I can IP my way in and sound like that's what people use as remotes.
It's what we're using now.
To
communicate with the station.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so if you could, so a lot of times if the radio show, like the afternoon show or something, will say, "Hey, can you call in?" And I'll go, "No, I'm home. I'll just go in the studio." We during COVID, I was doing the show here solo, and these guys were all in their place, and this room was half the room. I think you might have been here too when we first started building this room, and we didn't know how long we were going to be here. And I was in my pool one time, and there was I was like Friday night. I was in my pool, and my program director called and said, "Hey, there's riots going on in Tampa." I go, "Yeah, I'm watching on TV." He's like, "Would you want to go on?" And I go, "Yeah." All I had to do was come in here and just flip on the button, and I'm on the air. So it works out great. Yeah.
Yeah, the technology in the last. You remember when television would never have you call in or do a Zoom or anything like that, and now 90% of news shows are zoomed in. It always had to fly somewhere to be in studio for 3 minutes.
Right.
Right. Like why can't we just?
Yeah.
I mean, doctors were the same way. You could never have thought of seeing a doctor over the internet. It's now like, well, don't come in. We'll just charge you the same to zoom in.
We just had Scott Baio.
Had
Scott Baio on, and he said that, what was it, Fox?
He was on Jesse Waters' show, and I was like, "What do you got, a whole setup over there in your house?" He goes, "No. They drive a truck over here, and I just get in the truck, and the truck has a whole studio.
They have a studio in the van.
Oh,
so
really?
So it's built out like a studio. You go in, and everything's already set up for you. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty cool too. But you could also just zoom it up.
Now I mean,
everybody's got it.
The level of microphone is never as good or something. And that was always the thing. They'd always say the quality just isn't that good. But once that happened and the quality control went way down during COVID, since then, everyone's like, nobody cared anymore.
Yeah.
And I was like, let's just do Wayne's World.
Yeah, on your own,
on national news shows.
I was doing during COVID. I did a Zoom with Tom from Bob and Tom.
Okay.
and some other guys that were radio guys. They were talking about how we were all handling COVID for radio, and I was like, I'm doing it from home, and I'm never going back. I was like, I'm the happiest guy in the world, and Tom was like, I don't know. Once you start wearing those headset microphones with the microphone out here, and it's the listeners can hear I go, no, I'm not doing that, buddy. I got a microphone and a bar. I'm doing it the right way.
It's
I
no
built
different.
a radio
I mean,
station.
and it's probably much more. I don't know. It's without having to go in. You save a bunch of time. Well, you guys don't. He does. But
but they're all not far.
Right,
you know
right.
what I mean?
So it's all right here, and you don't feel like you're going into a corporate setting. You feel like you're just in your normal
it has
everyday.
Changed my life.
Just hang out.
Yeah.
It's this is one of those shows of the very few that are even out there where hanging out is what it's all about.
I can come in here in 15 minutes and have 15 hilarious minutes with Frank Caliendo. You do some bits, we tell some jokes, and then you're gone. Or you could let the conversation flow and find out things that you never thought you were going to come in here and talk. Who thought you were going to come in here and talk about pong ball paddles and make that interesting? You know what I mean?
I'm not sure it was. It might only been 4 of us.
Yeah, but you have to let a conversation develop, and and you're right. We're fortunate.
I think so too. But it's just the consultants in the world of radio.
Yeah.
The corporate world doesn't always believe that the audience can. You have to earn that though too. There are very few people, and they don't get the opportunity to earn it anymore. It's hard to become a new. It's very difficult to become a new broadcast show.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't if I.
No way.
If my kids were thinking about radio, I'd go get it. It's not even going to be here anymore.
Because this is somewhere between. Your show is somewhere between standard terrestrial radio and a podcast.
Right.
I mean, it's not. It's in the middle, and it's in a great spot where it keeps people's attention. It doesn't get too long. You don't get. You're entertaining and not only talking for yourself.
Yeah, and it's the negative to it is it's why it's not on in 100 cities because nobody has. They don't understand what it is. Nobody has it.
Right. You do need to build it, and you need the history along and what the vernacular.
Right. That's
the
true.
vocabulary, everything, the way people talk. It gets it. I don't know. John Holmberg, I think you know him in Phoenix.
Yeah.
He's very similar.
Yeah.
And he's one of Randy Bauman in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And I'm missing some other people. But there's 5 shows around the country.
Is Elliot still in DC?
Elliot was always great. I haven't been on there because they do the Junkies. We're the same way. The Junks, they're fantastic too. But it's when you can come in and the audience knows and other people find out about them because their fans are so, they like the show so much that they tell everybody else about it. I mean, how many other shows, a show that plays music every 5 minutes, what's there to tell anybody about?
Yeah. Also, who's listening to anything but Spotify for music? You can put on whatever you want.
That's the thing. And I think that's what happened with, a lot of that consulting stuff is they were consulting for something that wasn't going to be there anymore.
Yeah.
We always talk about it and laugh because when we were music and then we were talking more, they're like, are they going to be able to talk for like 20 minutes or whatever?
And now we get in trouble for going over every day.
But the importance of radio still, I mean, being local.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get information, local stories. A podcast, as big as it might be, isn't going to touch on anything that's going on in your community at all.
No.
And you hit national and that without being too newsy. You get into the news stories, talk about it from your perspectives, and it's fun.
It's what we always wanted the show to be, just to sound like you're sitting around with your friends having a conversation. That's the way to go.
Why is that so rare?
We need Frank here for the next contract.
Yeah.
These guys are great.
I tell you what, man, I will come in and do some negotiations, man. Oh, Spider 2Y banana raise here, man.
Can you be a liaison for me between us and Gruden? So we have a good relationship with him, but you don't. I'm not hanging out at his house and stuff. And I ran into him at the Super Bowl, and he just started doing these Barstool and the boxes and all that. And I go, bro, I'm like, you got to come on the show. I'm a mile away from you. He lives in the next subdivision over, and he was like, what's this guy's name?
Oh, Jake.
He's like, Jake, get this guy's phone number. Let's get Calta.
I'm going to go over there. I'm going over there tomorrow. Jeff Leonardo is the guy.
Yeah.
Jake is So, but there's a couple guys.
But there's just the Jake guy went dark on us after a while. We were like, they said after the draft, because he gets busy, and we're like, all right, cool. And then they went dark. I just want him to know that we're here, and if he ever, because I love the guy. I love him. I believe that he is.
I've talked to him about you before. That
He's
Mike Calta. I love that guy. Man.
He used to call me. He still calls me Cowhead.
Cowhead, man.
That's right.
Cowhead, man. He's still doing his thing from his garage. Listen, I love to pull right into that garage. Can you drive into that thing? Man?
No, you can't. You gotta walk in there. It's like closed off at the studio.
Wait a second. They got a studio in their garage. How do they pull this things up? Modern technology, man.
One time, this is 20, maybe more years ago, I'm in Hooters, and he's the coach of the Bucks, and he comes in for lunch, him and his son. And on the way out, we run into each other, and I was like, hey, coach. He's like, hey. And he goes, come here, Jake. Get in there. He goes, you ever shake a hand of a cowhead? Get in there and shake that kid's hand. And I shook the kid's hand, and he looks at me and he goes, get in there and shake it good. And I was like, oh, I know what this kid's life is going to be like for the rest of it, man. Yeah, and that kid's like a power lifter now.
Oh, that's that Deuce?
Or maybe Deuce.
No, Deuce is John.
I don't remember
Gruden Jr.
Yeah,
that's Deuce. Yeah, Deuce is. I tell you what, man. This guy, my son looks like Ram Man from E-Man and the Masters of the Universe. I'll tell you what, he could break into Castle Grayskull if Skeletor took over, man.
I love that you come in here and plan it out and spend some time with us. I appreciate it. It's great to see you.